Welcome to your art project, which is going to be the decorated elephant inspired by the Indian festival of the painted elephants. Now, first, I'm going to talk about the supplies that you need, and then we'll go into the lesson from here. By the end of the project, you will have something similar to this decorated painted elephant. You're going to need some markers. I recommend if you have both the thicker marker and the thinner marker. If you don't have markers, you can always use a different supply, crayons or colored pencils, whatever you have to color in the different parts that you're going to need for the elephant. So you'll need those. You'll need a piece of colored construction paper. Any color is fine. You're going to need glue, either a glue stick or liquid glue. You'll need a pencil. You'll need permanent black marker. I have a thin one and a thicker one. I recommend, to have both if you can. Otherwise, if you don't have black permanent marker, you can use a pen or a regular black marker or a colored pencil. Whatever supplies that you have will be fine. Then I'm going to need some scissors because I will be cutting the elephant out and gluing it onto my piece of colored construction paper. I'm going to need some watercolor, a paintbrush, a cup of water, and then I'm going to need watercolor paper. Now, watercolor paper, the difference is it's thicker, so it absorbs the water and it should not rip the paper. You're going to be drawing your elephant onto the watercolor piece of paper. So from here, you're going to learn and watch about the elephant festival in India. You're going to learn the significance of the festival. Then you're going to talk about the different design elements you need to incorporate into your elephant. Then you will be drawing out your elephant. And then once you have drawn out your elephant, you will come back with your drawn out elephant, so it will be plain, and then we'll talk about the next step. Hello everyone. So before we start our painted elephant project, I want to review what the significance of the elephant is in India and why they do the elephant festival. So I'd like you to follow along, and then we'll discuss some of the things we see in the pictures. The elephant festival in India. From the ancient times, elephants have always been an important part of the Indian society. The elephant-headed god Ganesha, believed to be the remover of obstacles and the foremost to all the gods, is revered and devotedly worshipped in all parts of India. There are also one of the most important parts of religious events, marriages, ceremonies, processions, etc., and in historic times they were a significant part of the battlefield. For this festival, elephants are nicely groomed and clothed with colorful and embroidered velvet rugs and parcels and other heavy ornaments like huge elephant jewelry and anklets decked with bells. Intricate traditional Indian motifs are then painted on their bodies. Ear danglers and colored brocades, scarves adorn their ears and necks respectively. Their tusks too get jeweled up by adorning them with gold and silver bracelets and rings, while foreheads are beautified with royal-looking head plates. All of this is done by their mahouts, so the keepers and the riders. Now let's look at some of these designs that we're seeing. They have some very beautiful colored motifs. They have put in all of the fabric all over. There's lots of details in the fabric. You have different patterns. You have multiple layers. And then if we check out the next two, you can see also where they have added all types of decor to really make their elephant stand out for this festival, to really show how much of a significance the elephant is to this culture. So when you're creating your elephants and you're adding in those design elements, I want you to think about the different types of designs you can add, the colors, the different looking cloth you see, and the rugs, the different patterns, lines that you're seeing. Look at how they have added some jewelry elements. They have added some detail to the tusks. You see that around the ankles they've added details. They've even kind of painted the nails of the feet of the elephant. So when you're doing your project, you're going to want to add as much detail to the elephant as possible. All right. So from here, we're going to move on and we'll talk about the different steps you're going to need to add for your elephant. Next, let's talk about the design and pattern elements that you're going to need to incorporate into your painted elephant design, your painted elephant project. So you should have, for the quiz, watched a video about the different design and pattern elements so that you could learn how to draw them, and that so you could see the multiple different elements that you can add to your elephant design. So you're going to take these concepts and you're going to use them within your project. So we're going to look at a few examples so you can kind of get an idea. So you'll be having this layered tapestry on the back, so the layered kind of cloth and rug look that we saw in the pictures of the actual Indian elephants for the festival. You're going to need to take some of those designs and you're going to need to add them to the different parts of the elephant to really give it that beautiful adorned look that they have during those festivals. You can take one type of design and add it to, say, like the main sections of the body to create kind of like that fluid pattern look, so it kind of has that balance to the piece. There's lots of different elements that you can add. You can see that this design has some smaller details, medium details, and then we have some bigger details. And we'll look one more. So here you see your different layered effect, and you'll be required to have this layered effect on your elephant's back. You're going to have that cloth element. Then you can see that you have some design elements on the ears, the head, you have it on the tusks, the legs. This is all the type of thing I'm looking for when you are creating your painted elephant project. Look at all the different design elements you can add. All you need to do is, if you're trying to figure out what type of designs you should add, maybe you're stuck, you can go back to the design pattern elements, or you could even look back on the video that you watched for the quiz where it teaches you how to draw the different design elements if maybe you're having a hard time with that. And then you can also look at your assignment page, should have information on the different patterns and designs that you can use within your elephant. So I really want you, it's required that you add these patterns. You can make up your own patterns, but these are some of the basic patterns that you should be adding to the different parts of your elephant. So now it is time to start drawing your elephant out. In front of you, you have the option of drawing the elephant like it comes in the lesson, or you're more than welcome to watch a different video on drawing the side look of an elephant. So that profile side of an elephant. You can definitely go on YouTube or watch some of the other tutorials on drawing an elephant that I posted. You don't have to draw the elephant exactly like you're seeing on the screen right here, but I will guide you through the directions for drawing the elephant you see on the screen. Otherwise, you can watch your own videos on how to draw an elephant if you want to bring your own elephant drawing design into the project. So let's start. Grab your pencil and an eraser. You're going to be drawing the elephant about the size of your paper, so it's going to want to be quite big. First, so step 1, which is right here. Step 1, draw a dot for the eye. Draw a tusk just below the eye. Place the marker behind the eye and draw a curved line up and over the eye and over the tusk. Continue line upwards to make a trunk. Bring bottom line of trunk up, forwards, tusk. Alright, so this is what you should have on your page. Remember, you're making your elephant the size of the paper, so make sure that you are looking at what the end result would be. Next, number 2, add an ear and then add the bottom part of the head. So look at what you are adding this time. You're adding the ear, then add the bottom part of the head, and then you're going to be adding part of the body and part of one of the legs. For number 3, here's the image for number 3. Place marker near top of ear and draw a line towards the back of the paper. Curve the line down to make one leg. Add the front leg and then connect the legs with a belly line. So you're adding your leg, you're connecting this line with the front. So we have 2 legs should be completed. Now for number 4, add another back leg and a front leg. So you're adding this leg right here in the back, and then you are adding another front leg. So it's giving you that 3D look. So it's not a flat elephant. Then you're going to move to step 5. Add a tail and toenails. So here's our tail and our toenails. Number 6. This is where you're going to start kind of creating your own elements. So it says, number 6, now for the fun part. Add a blanket by drawing a square on the back. Draw around this box to make another square and keep going. So remember, you want that layered look. So notice there's different elements to create that layered look with the blankets and the cloth on the back. Then lastly, you're going to decorate the feet, the legs, the trunk, and anywhere else on the body of the elephant. So remember to look back at all the different design elements that you can add and double check that you have the layered cloth on the back. So from here, we'll talk about what we're going to do after you have added your designs. Welcome back. So right now you should have drawn out the profile or the side of the elephant, and it should be in pencil. From this point, you're going to take your permanent black marker and you're going to trace over all of your pencil marks. Once you're done with that, come on back and I'll talk about the next step. All right. So now your elephant should be traced over with the black marker. You're going to move on to adding those different design elements that you learned about and that I also reviewed in the beginning of this lesson. You're going to take these concepts and you're going to apply them to your elephant. So remember, when I'm looking at my elephant, I need to have this layered tapestry or the layered cloth effect. Then from here, after I've created my different layers, I'm going to start adding in the different design elements and the different patterns and lines around the parts of the elephant. So I'm going to demonstrate how I can make that layered look. I'll just go ahead and use my Sharpie for this. I'm not going to use a pencil, but you can. And remember, you have to have multiple layers. Now, you don't necessarily have to make it a square piece of fabric. You can make it rounded if you'd like, or a different type of shape. So I'm going to start on the back, and I'm going to go from the big piece to the small piece when it comes to layering. And I'm going to kind of round mine out as I like that look a little bit better. And I'm going to want to add those different elements. Maybe I want to make this one with those little curls. And then I'm going to add one more. So I have at least 3 layers on the back of the elephant. Now remember, you can make yours rounded, you can make it square, you can make, your own shape on the back of the elephant here. Now after you've done your layered part for the back fabric, you're going to now start designing the different parts of your elephant. So you're going to take those different patterns and designs that we reviewed, and you're going to apply them onto your elephant to really give it that beauty that you would see in the Indian Elephant Festival. So from here, you're going to go ahead and use your Sharpie, and you're going to design all the different elements of your elephant. When you're done, come back and we will talk about the next step. All right, so now you should have your drawn out with the black permanent marker design element of your elephant. From this step, you're going to grab those markers, and like I said, it's nice to have both sizes, and you're going to start coloring in the details of your elephant. You're not coloring in the body at this point. Right now, you are simply coloring in the different design elements of your elephant that you have added. Now, another thing you can do to kind of boost your elephant is, you noticed I put little bits of dots to kind of outline parts of my elephant, and it also just gives a little bit more of detail to your elephant. So from this step, you need to go ahead, get those markers out, or if you're using crayon or colored pencil, and you want to color in your different design elements that you put onto your elephant. And you want to make sure you don't leave any white spots, that you stay in the line, everything is nice and crisp and clean. When you're done coloring in the different aspects of your elephant, then you need to come back and we'll do the next step. Great. So now your elephant should be colored in with those markers. So you should have colored in the details that you added on to your elephant design. Now this is where we're going to paint the elephant. Now I'm going to show you how to paint the elephant the traditional gray color using black watercolor and water. I'm not going to need to add white to the black because I can dilute the black paint by just using extra water. Now if you do not have watercolor paint and you're still just using crayon or colored pencil or marker, that is fine. You simply would just grab a gray marker and you would color in the rest of the body of the elephant gray. Now if you do have watercolor, okay, you're going to make sure you get your paintbrush wet, and you're going to want to be very careful when applying the paint and the water to your elephant, because if you used markers are water-based. That means that if you get water from the paintbrush onto the marker, it will bleed, it will get messy. So you have to be very careful when you are painting the elephant. I like to just put a little layer of water on the area that I need to paint, so my paper is a little bit damp. Okay, then I go and I just need a little bit of black paint, and I get a little bit of black paint and I put it right over the area I already put water on. Notice how the water, because I didn't use a lot of black paint, the water already helped dilute the black paint and made it that gray color. So you shouldn't need to add any white. You just simply use a little bit more water than you would black paint. So from here you're going to fill in the rest of your elephant gray. And remember, if you don't have watercolor, you can use like a gray marker, a gray colored pencil, or a gray crayon. Then when you're done painting in your elephant gray, you'll come back and we'll do the next step. Okay, so hopefully you took your time to paint your elephant in, and you tried your best not to get the marker wet. I did a little bit, but that's okay. It's bound to happen. It will bleed a little bit, no big deal. Now from this part, you're going to shadow cut, which means cut along the black line, but not on the black line. And you're going to cut the entire elephant out in one piece. Then from there, you're going to glue your elephant in the middle of your paper. So you're going to get your construction paper. You'll glue your elephant cut out. From here, you need to take a picture of the elephant after you have checked the assignment, you've reviewed the directions, you've reviewed the grading rubric, so you know you've completed every step required to get a full grade on it. Make sure you've cut your elephant out in one piece, glued it onto your construction paper, taken a picture of it, because the picture is what you are going to submit on Canvas for a grade. All right, so from this step, go ahead and cut your elephant out and glue it on to a piece of construction paper. And we'll come back after you have done that step. Alrighty, from here, I'm going to grab my glue stick, or maybe you're using liquid glue. I'm going to turn my cut out elephant over. I'm going to put the glue along the edges because we want to make sure it will stay when we press it down. I like to go all the way around the edges, and then I do a few little swipes through the center. Then I'll take whatever colored construction paper you are using. I'll take my elephant. I'll kind of line it up, making sure it's center. Press it down. And I'm going to glue the elephant right on to the center of the paper. Then from here, after everything is nice and glued down, you are done with the elephant project. So you will take a picture of it and you will submit it to Canvas. Remember, review the grading rubric. It's located at the bottom of the assignment. Those are the main things you are being graded on. Double check that you have completed all of the steps, that you have added all of the elements of design and pattern that you need for the project. Once you are done and you are satisfied with your work, take a picture of it, upload it to the Canvas assignment, and submit your work. All right, I am looking forward to seeing everybody's decorated elephants.